everyone's always looking for the optimal fat metabolizing agent. One of the things we know, when you activate mTOR, you increase energy expenditure. So it actually elevates your metabolism. The other thing to understand is when you activate mTOR, actually my brother, Dr. Gabe Wilson, has done a lot of research on this, where he shows when you actually activate mTOR, you drain the cell of energy acutely, and that stimulates the cell to adapt almost as if to an exercise stimulus. So because you have a drain in the cell of energy, it will adapt by adding more mitochondria. So there's a lot of data that agents that activate mTOR will actually also increase mitochondrial biogenesis and thus fat metabolism capacity. To me, that's by far the most logical and supported reason why we're seeing this effect. On top of the fact that, of course, if you have more lean mass, your metabolic rate's going to be higher.
From the phospholipid standpoint, scientists have recognized this, and we have as a company. In fact, we have this included in our patents, the fat loss aspects. Phosphatidic acid as a phospholipid is involved in fat oxidation and fat metabolism itself. So Dr. Wilson addressed it from the mTOR mechanistic standpoint, but from the phospholipid chemistry standpoint itself, it is involved in fat metabolism, fat transport, fat oxidation. And again, we recognized that early on, and quite frankly, we were not very surprised to see that it did result in fat mass loss, but it was very robust. We were really, really happy to see it, but we were kind of expecting that.
Well, both men and women, like when they resistance train, when they lift weights, both of them are increasing muscle mass via this PA mechanism. So this is just enhancing that effect. There's nothing contraindicating about taking it if you're a female. Obviously, for example, if someone's taking a test booster or an anti-aromatase inhibitor, that would have consequences for females, but that hits none of those pathways. So because it's the main way that they actually hypertrophy anyway, I don't see anything but positive for them.
From the safety standpoint, there are a couple of considerations to this thing. One is compliance with regulations that existed in the high school and the collegiate level, NCAA and so on. And of course the anti-doping regulations in total. Remember, this is a safe compound. Phosphatidic acid is something along with other phospholipids that are a normal constituent in cell membranes. So you ingest it in foods, you biosynthesize it all day long, from birth until death, literally. So from a safety standpoint, I think Dr. Harvey is right. This mechanism is just a part of normal human muscle physiology and physiology in general. So it's completely safe. It's a non-steroid compound, of course. It doesn't have any anabolic activities. So from that standpoint, as we've said, it was studied in male populations because we saw that first as our primary user. We fully intend to look at it in other populations, but there is absolutely no question that teenagers, women, everybody almost of every age could safely use this and effectively. Keep in mind, the troubling compounds are steroid in nature. Those would have a cholesterol backbone generally. This thing is entirely different. This is a phospholipid. This is found in food. This is found in every cell in your body. It's a part of all the cell membranes, muscle tissue, and brain cells, the whole thing. And again, you take in some amount of phospholipids normally in your diet. Egg yolk, for example, is very rich in it, but it comes in all kinds of foods, in nut foods, and all kinds of foods that would have emulsifiers would be a key source. But no, it's completely safe. Again, this is not a foreign compound. This would be considered an orthomolecular compound, meaning it's a part of your natural cell constituency. So it's not like a drug. It's not a steroid compound. Completely safe, no question. In fact, there would not even be any kind of testing available that would put it anywhere in the class of banned substances at all. Not even slightly. It's more of a food than it is a drug, and it sounds funny, but that's what it is.
On the label, it says contains soy. People should not be alarmed from this. It's just an allergen requirement for labeling that we do have to list the source. One should not worry about phytoestrogens or anything like that. It's only a requirement from FDA to list the allergen on the label. I get many questions about when guys see soy, they freak out, but the amount, it's insignificant. No one should worry about that. It's only a labeling requirement.